Hello and welcome to Susie's Startup Grooming Salon. Let's look at what the required startup funds are that you'll need. This input part of the spreadsheet will ultimately tell you, given what you need to buy, how much money do you need to have to start your business. So let's take a look at each section of this particular input sheet, and it'll help you decide and work through starting up your business and getting the money. Okay, first of all, on the left-hand side, you see a section for fixed assets. This means large major purchases like furniture, fixtures, buildings. It doesn't mean a lease, but it means the improvements that you make on your lease space, a building if you bought it, any equipment and furniture and vehicles. So in the yellow box, you input what you estimate you would pay for that particular item. And in the green box, already set aside for you, is something called your depreciation assumptions, which basically mean how fast the item would wear out, and it gives you a tax deduction on your tax return. Don't worry about that too much right now. Just consider, how much would it cost you to fix up your retail space if you leased it? If you're a mobile groomer, what would you pay for your vehicle? What type of additional equipment and furniture would you be buying? And then notice that it gives you a total. So play with it and make different assumptions. In addition to buying assets and making major purchases, this model also gives you some great advice, and that is, be prepared to pay for miscellaneous items that will help you start up. Specifically, look at pre-opening salaries and wages. That means you can't really rely on the cash coming in from sales necessarily to support yourself or to pay employees if you have them. So you need a little bit of cash to do that. You might need to buy insurance. You might need a little inventory. You might have to pay a lawyer, and you might have to pay rent and utility deposits along with these other items. So just make some very basic assumptions and see how it adds up. Notice that under total operating capital, it adds all the items up for you. So together you can see between your fixed asset purchases and your startup operating capital, you need $78,000. Now, that may be more than you will need. And certainly, if you're running something simple or inside your home, it may not be this large, but it will help you make those initial assumptions. Let's scroll down a little bit and see some additional information that we will find pretty helpful. This section of the spreadsheet looks at the money first that you need, which we know is $78,500 in this case, but it lets you input what you will contribute, that's called owner's equity, and maybe some friends and family loans. So let's imagine that you have $10,000 and your mom and dad are going to lend you $25,000. So right now that tells you that the balance, you'll need to find some kind of loan for $43,000. Now that may not be the case. If you don't like that outcome, one way, and you don't think you can get that money, one way is to adjust what you're spending, either on operating capital or on your fixed assets. You see how this helps you make decisions? Let's go back. Maybe you're getting a grant. I might put that right here. This is kind of a miscellaneous category, other bank debt. So let's imagine that you are actually getting a grant for $6,000, and that's at zero interest. And if it's a grant, it's free, so it's not a loan. So I'm putting in zero here. Oops, doesn't like that. Probably put this back to there. Um, in any case, you now see that you need $37,000 in an additional loan. So what you need to do is just play with the amount of money that you have from friends and family and what you're going to be spending to help you determine your startup. Later, what you'll see is that if your loans are costing you in monthly payments, this will be worked into your overall profitability of the business. But we'll get to that later. Just get comfortable with the idea of estimating where you will get money. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next video.